Countdown. We're live. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg, host of the Willie Bragg Show, where I like to discuss, politics, what's new in my day in life. Well, let's start off with the real news around the world, shall we? I think that's a kind of a consistent thing to do. So let me do this, and and there's more. So bear with me right now.
You know who's got the hardest job?
Yeah, we'll start with that. We'll start with that.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Good Lord, what the hell did I just do? Okay, hold on. This is what I wanted to show you. We'll call that a preview of what you're about to see. Can we do that? Yeah. So we'll start here.
Открываем, блядь! Выходим, блядь! Выходим, блядь! Знахарь клей! Прекратить огонь! Хватит, пішли! Лишаем 2 бойцов, блядь! Кто хуярит? Я не понял, блядь. Не скупчуємося. Пішли. Убедіться. Наші козаки з Волині прикривають!
Okay, that was an actual battle going on between Russians and Ukrainians in Ukraine with the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. That's an actual battlefield. That's really, really serious. I would think that most of us would think that. But, what do most Americans? I'm afraid that this is what Americans would think. And I got some words about this in a moment. But most Americans, I'm going to tell you right offhand, they're more concerned with this. And I will share a few words momentarily. Be patient.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
My wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
Okay, I am back. Let me do this here because graphics are indeed very important. I need to hire somebody to help me do this, to make it more professional. But here goes. All right, let me get started. Now, as I said, you first saw a video of a battlefield that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. That's some serious shit. Because you got the United States and NATO, ready to want to start a fight with Russia. I'm not siding with Russia. I'm not siding with NATO. I'm not siding with Ukraine. I am a third camp internationalist, and I that's where I stand. I am a radical pacifist, and I think that the people who are going to be suffering are the people. Well, they are actually suffering. The people in the Ukraine are suffering, and people in Russia are going to suffer. And the politicians on both sides are assholes. There's not a good person or good side in this scenario. Vladimir Putin is an authoritarian-leaning right-wing person. He's not a white nationalist like some libtards are saying in the West, but he is a right-leaning, probably in the Augusto Pinochet, Francisco Franco, or I would maybe say Mussolini-like. Hitler is a bit of a stretch, but he's an asshole, just the same. Having that said, while I cannot pronounce his name, the premier president of the Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, while he's seemingly a centrist leading person, there and he's Jewish, which is ironic, there are actual neo-Nazis in his government. I'm not saying that Zelensky is sympathetic to the Nazis. I'm not saying that. Good Lord, I would never say that. But what I'm saying is that there are actual Nazis in the military, as a battalion and serving as government ministers. And they heroify Stepan Bandera, who was a Hitler sympathizer. So I can't take a side in this conflict. Plus, the United States and the West, the NATO countries, got nukes. Russia got nukes. And because they're, just like the neocons that were with Bush and Cheney in 2002 drumming up for war against Iraq. I've said this. I oppose going into Iraq because there were no weapons of mass destruction. Now, I oppose going to war with Russia because they do have weapons of mass destruction. And it's ridiculous that there's a frenzy for war because a lot of liberals today, and in 2002, George W. Bush had his feelings hurt because Saddam Hussein, with Saddam Hussein and George Herbert Walker Bush, he saw this as payback against his dad. Well, with the liberals today, a lot of them, they want to start a war with Russia because they really believe in 2016 that Vladimir Putin helped Donald Trump get elected. And it's payback. This is a way to own Trump and pay back against Trump. That's what it is with a lot of the liberal hawks out there with this war. And the people who remain consistent, and we're talking about within the two-party system, would be the Ron Paul Republicans who lean libertarian and the Dennis Kucinich Democrats who lean leftist. Those would be the ones that are consistent. Your mainstream Republicans, your mainstream Democrats, go to hell. But that's more important than what's going on between Chris Rock and Will Smith. Now, even in the United States, there are more important problems than Will Smith and Chris Rock. With what happened at the awards last night, and I don't ever watch the awards. I didn't watch the awards last night. I got up early this morning after sleeping, good Lord, close to 12 hours. And I saw it online and I was like, holy crap, really? and it makes interesting trivial news, I guess. But honestly, I was never really strong fan of Will Smith. I didn't dislike him, but I wasn't exactly a fan either. Chris Rock, I kind of like Chris Rock. Always like Chris Rock, and that's not about to change. But anyway, what's more important to me are the millions that do not have medical care in this country. The repercussions in the economy from this COVID shit that hit. Trying to restore a sense of normality. Student debt forgiveness. I mean, I know I'm sounding like a typical bread tuber, but to me, that has greater emphasis than what's going on between Chris Rock and Will Smith. Now, regarding Chris Rock and Will Smith, do I think that I didn't even know that Will Smith's wife Jada had alopecia. I suspect that Chris Rock didn't know either. I don't know if he knew that or not, but I mean, it's possible that people just didn't know that. Now, I noticed that when he was Chris Rock was roasting on Will Smith and Jada, I noticed he was kind of chuckling it up. I'm talking about Will Smith. You got to watch it. He was chuckling it up. She didn't look upset. Then all of a sudden, a few moments later, he went up on stage and he slugged him one. Now, I don't think he was particularly bothered at the moment. He probably thought it was just regular roasting, and then he wanted to prove something to his wife, or what have you, and maybe I can understand the anger. Now, he yelled at Chris Rock and said, keep my wife out of your fucking mouth. Keep my wife out of your fucking mouth. I can understand that. I would have been okay if that's all he did, but you don't need to go hit somebody just to prove your toxic masculinity, and that's really what it came down to. Now, on the other hand, I've listened to some people within the African American community talking about it, feeling quote unquote embarrassed. Why? Two individuals. I didn't even see race into this. I mean, this could have been easily two white dudes doing this, okay? And I mean, this was just a human emotional response. And this is what people do. This is not a black thing or a white thing. It's a human thing. It's a human thing. There's a lot of white folks at the Oscars. There's a lot of African Americans at the Oscars. They all have one thing in common. They're all human beings. Chris Rock is a human being. Will Smith is a human being. And human beings do fucked up things to their fellow human beings. And that's how I am looking at it. I personally thought it was not in good taste and bad judgment on Will Smith's part to do that. Now, some people are talking about taking away his Oscars. Again, I don't think his Oscars should be taken away from him. I don't think that at all. I mean, he worked hard for his Oscars, and he works hard for his Oscars and all of that. So don't take something that he's earned away from him because he did something stupid. Now, in a way, I think that Chris Rock showed that he's the bigger man because he did not file charges against Will Smith. And to me, if I'm going to be impressed with anybody, I think that Chris Rock handled himself well, because that was humiliating to get punched in the face, and I know that probably Chris Rock wanted to punch him right back. And he I don't know how. I know I would have looked humiliated. I looked like a dumbass on stage after somebody did that to me. So I think under the circumstances, he did handle himself well with regard to the most unfortunate incident that can take place. And it's really weird that I'm sitting here talking about entertainment, because I hate to mix entertainment with politics. But this was kind of newsworthy, and I just I just wanted to share my take on this and all of that. So we have here once again a nice little busy chat line. I'm going to scroll right back up to the top, and we have Hot Retarded Chicks. Good morning to you. My girl ain't no GI man. Yeah, I rarely. Chris did it. Message received. Yeah, he obviously did it. It wasn't right that he made fun of his wife, but it really wasn't right for Will Smith to slug at him either. Will Smith laughed at Chris Rock's jokes. Trans Marxist, you're absolutely correct. I spotted that right away when I was searching through the actual video footage. He's okay now. I suppose everybody's going to be okay now. So I guess he's got to look from Jada. So he decided to slap him. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting it. It was awkward, and I even though I'm not sympathetic toward Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock, it was awkward in his situation too. But I still think he was in the wrong to do it. Great performance. I want to see the movie now. Who knows? It could be a movie. Let's see. Putin is defending his own country from Western aggression. Well, there is an element of truth to that in the sense that when the Soviet Union ceased to exist in 1991, there was an agreement with the NATO countries and the West and the United States to not have the former Eastern Bloc countries joining NATO. And what happened? The Eastern Bloc countries ended up joining NATO anyway. So, it's not in a weird way. That's similar to Margaret Thatcher ordering the people to go back to work in the coal mines, or she'll go and auction off the coal industry to the private sector, and they went back to work and she auctioned them off anyway. So that was back in the 84, 85 time period. Let's see. If Jadada tells you to smack on you, just do it. Then I guess, oh my Lord. Well, I don't believe in hitting people. I have not been in a physical fight since 1987. I got my ass whooped in 1987, but I got even too in my own ways. Statutes of limitations protect me from the damage I've done to that property. I will not go any further than that. Let's see. Precise opposition result from what Karen wanted. Yep. Let's see. Now we have to fix it again. There's a lot of things in this country we need fixing, and we're too busy. America's too busy focusing on things like Chris Rock and Will Smith. It's highly VLX 11387 writes. It's highly unprofessional what he did, considering and setting and how mild what Chris said. Yes, absolutely heard worse shit said by other people at these events than that. I mean, and again, I'm sorry that Jada has alopecia, and I'm sorry about that. And, and there's, but I think it's possible that Chris Rock wasn't aware. And I think that if he was aware, he would have probably not have said that. That is my guess. I don't know. I don't live inside Chris Rock's mind, so I can't read minds, so I don't know what the intent was. But I really don't think it was any harm intended on his part. My opinion. Then again, I could be correct, which I usually am. Catherine and McCloskey, good morning. How are you, Ross? How are you this morning? Bravo. Absolutely. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures. Gotta test the equipment, see if it still works. Or if Will Smith wants to remain relevant, I guess. Will Smith laughing at the joke reveals his anger was a charade. Yeah, I think it was a charade. I really do. They want you to get used to awkward. I've been used to awkward for so long. We live in America. It is awkward in itself, how little common sense our society has. Anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, well, comment anyway. We will have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. And I must emphasize free speech, because we're all getting silenced little by little, and we need to put a stop to that shit. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. I'm going to, every few videos, make a special appeal to, please, if you're not subscribed, to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to tell you, YouTube, because it's owned, by Google and all this big tech companies, do not like these small voices coming along, because these small voices got things to say that the mainstream media corporately run and owned, and to basically put a rest of this misnomer. Big tech is not necessarily a bunch of SJW liberals. Some of them are. Some of them are right wing. But what they all have in common is they're all rich as hell, and they want to make sure their corporate sponsors are happy with them. So they silence small voices. And this is why YouTube will sometimes just pluck a subscriber or two away. I have noticed that on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and please do like us. I understand putting a like helps the algorithm too. And we need to go and make sure that it's not just about me, it's about all of us, to make sure we have a voice and not let the pro-censorship people, the pro-censorship right, or the fake left that's pro-censorship, do not let them win on this one. So keep the free speech alive and keep the First Amendment alive. And until next time, remember that we have a class struggle to wage, and we're all Julian Assange. And now I say to you all, music.